Hey everybody, my name is Lisa Tires. I am a fairly new distributor with Shaklee, but I'm not new to Shaklee entirely. We started using the vitamins mainly for my kids about 5 years ago, and it took me 5 years to realize that this was really the opportunity that I needed in my life. I'm actually talking to you from my camper because my kids are crazy. So, and that's why I had to pre-record this and not go live, because real life happens. But any case, I have been in direct sales, network marketing, that whole thing for 10 years. And it all started in January of 2010 when I realized I needed a little side hustle to make some extra cash for our wedding. We were getting married in October of 2011, so I knew that I was going to have a pretty good chunk of change to be able to help pay for weddings because they're expensive. So I chose a candle fragrance company, and it's a great product, don't get me wrong, but I also wanted to make sure that I chose something that was consumable. That way I knew that when my clients and customers would run out, they would come back to me, hopefully, and get what they needed. Light bulbs, bars of wax. It was a big chunk of stuff that was the product line. But coming back to me necessarily wasn't the case. It was, I had my clients, I had my parties, but it wasn't, the return factor wasn't there. Sally Joe on the other end of the block could be selling the same thing, and she has on hand what that person needed, so that's who they went to. So there was no loyalty whatsoever. I just felt like, I was doing all these things and trying to help them, get exactly what they needed, but that wasn't good enough. It wasn't fast enough. Or they would just go to the big box like Walmart or Target and fulfill their need that way. So there really was no loyalty to the consultant themselves or the product themselves. So that was one thing that I couldn't handle anymore. And I was with that company for 8 years. About 5 years. And when I hit my 5 year was when I realized I needed something different. So, I went with the next best thing. What was everybody buying? The leggings. So I paid a lot of money to buy at wholesale clothing that I didn't know what I was going to get. It was just the style. I had no idea what things were coming to me. I would just buy it and then I would hopefully sell it. It was hours and upon hours of live streaming, photos, editing, shipping. It was a lot of going to vendor events. That was a ton of work. And don't get me wrong, I like hard work, but it was too much work. There were people in that business that were selling things that they shouldn't have been. That's another story. But the thing is I would sell, but I wouldn't reach any of the goals because I didn't have a team. And I'm kind of bad at recruiting, I'm not going to lie. But I love to help people. And I as a dental assistant background for 15 years, I am in tune with health and wellness and what is good for our bodies and the way that things need to be done. So that's kind of what prompted me to do Shaklee in the first place, was that their product was legit. So, like I said, I started 5 years ago with vitamins for my kids, and now it's boomed into this. So with the candle company, I would make 25% of my sales. That's great. But you didn't know when your next sale was. You didn't know when your next party was. You didn't know if you had to pay $100 for a vendor event and then find out that you only sold X amount and you only paid the vendor fee, and the customers are not loyal to you. They'll see what they have at your table and they get what they get, and they don't want anything to do with you. They just want what they want. So it's just a different mindset in different companies. So with this, with having your client who you're trying to help and come up with a good plan for and see it through and see their successes. This is completely different and it's amazing. I really, really enjoy it. My age bracket, I'm going to be 37 at the end of the month. I have 2 kids. My husband works insane amount of hours. And my bracket of people were done hosting parties. They were done having people in their house. They don't have time for that. We don't want to clean. Let's be honest, we got kids. Things don't stay clean. So that whole thing of slinging everything to everybody's houses and stuff like that, those days for me were gone. They kind of have gotten burnt out on those aspects. So like I said, after 5 years of doing one business and then trying another business while still doing the other business and not getting anywhere, I was done. I was done with all multi-level marketing, direct sales, networking, and I was done with it all. And I started my own crafting business because I was making the stuff for myself and people would like it. And then I would sell it. And it was fun. But, again, you don't know when your next sale is. You don't know when, you know, if someone is going to come to you and you put time, effort, and energy into something and then they decide, oh no, I went with somebody else because they were cheaper. Well, that's another problem too. But the other part of it is this particular group with Shaklee, this particular team, the Go Wellness team, I have never seen a group in all these different companies I have done that has been so willing to help each other, so willing to get you the right answer, so willing to be patient to help you learn. It is mind-blowing how different it is. With the other companies, it would be like, well, no, I have it, and I can get this, and I can do that. No. A, I didn't have time for that because, again, family. B, it was to the point where your customers weren't loyal to you, and they would just go and get what they needed. But needing that sense of community and knowing that if I don't have the answer for you or for my client, that I would be able to come up with the answer with someone else on my team who knows exactly what we're supposed to be doing. That wouldn't happen in any of these other companies. They would go off and be like, well, it's a business, you need to run it that way. I'm like, no. How are you? That was coming from my upline. I will never, ever forget that. We were at a convention and the director term is different in different companies, but my director, so that's like 5 levels up for me, told me, well, you need to run it like a business. Okay, well, how? Well, you just have to run it like a business. That is not the way to A, boost anybody on your team, B, help any of your downline out, and C, I don't even know if I have a C. It was just plain wrong. So I really think that if anybody is looking for any business opportunity that could, A, is lucrative because of the way that the Shaklee plan is laid out. There's not another plan like it. I'll be honest. I've looked at them all. Trust me. The bags, the makeup, the candles, everything. I've done it. I've looked at it all. And the reason why I did all of those first was because, again, instant gratification. I was making 25% of sales, but I didn't know when the next sale was going to be. With this, yes, you make a little bit of a lesser percentage, and you have different goals that you have to reach to make those higher percentages, but those can be consistent. You'll know when your next paycheck is going to come, and you know kind of how much of roughly it'll be. So you can have it like a real honest-to-Pete business. So I challenge anybody, and anybody who has any questions, because I've done almost all of it, if you have any questions about, well, this company is doing this, and they're making a lot of money, that's great, but that is a fad, and it is going to run out. And I asked Kristen Jakubowski, she's in this group too, what did I tell her when I first signed up? I said, I'll join you maybe in the future, but not right now. because I was too busy slinging after that other 25%. Now I know what I'm going to be bringing in each month, and I know the things that I can do, and I can budget things for it. I'm a wine abber. So I'm working on budgets. So you can't do that with some of these other things that are out there. It's just too inconsistent. And I really feel that Shaklee has the best product out there, the best compensation plan out there. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us, because we are on all different levels. And like I said, I ordered my kit in April with the Prove It Challenge. And I was like, no, maybe I'll lose like 5 pounds. I'm down 18 pounds as of this morning from the beginning of May. So you can do this. You can do this with the challenge. Get a buddy, do it together. So there's plenty of other things with it, but I think that this is just the best thing out there for anybody. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or anybody else on this group, and we'll get the answers for you, because that's what we do. We're a team and we do it together. Have a great day. Bye, guys.